Hey guys, Ernie here and welcome to the Paleo Hiker MD channel. Guess what today is? It's another stove video. As y'all saw in some of my prior videos, I've recently picked up the Evernew titanium alcohol stove. And I also picked up two stands that you can get with it. One is a titanium cross stand and the other is the DX stand, which is kind of an individualized stand for it. It's a multi-fuel stand. It says you can use solid fuel, you can use wood in it, which I think is a little bit impractical. Nonetheless, they say that you can, but you can put the alcohol stove in that and you can use it with or without what's called the turbo plate. Now this whole setup was not cheap. The DX stand with the stove and the extra cross stand cost right about 85, 90 bucks. That's quite a bit of money. Now if you bought the stove, probably be a good idea to go ahead and buy the cross stand. It's only about 12, 13 bucks. But should you buy the $50 accessory that is the DX stand and the turbo plate? Well, the only reason you would buy it is if it helped you boil water faster, right? So let's find out if it does. Thanks for watching. So these are the different things we're going to look at. Let's look first at the cross stand, okay? Really simple design, just interlocks like that. Let's take a look and see how much it weighs. We're looking at 16 grams or 5/8 of an ounce just for the cross stand. Now this other part over here is the DX stand and the stove. This is the turbo plate, okay? And this is the stand. Let's take a look first at just the stove. The stove is all titanium construction, okay? It has fiberglass wicking inside of it, which really helps it prime much faster than if it didn't, okay? I have a video on this versus its competition, which is basically a knockoff version that doesn't have the fiberglass wicking. I've either published that or I'll be publishing it soon. I'll try to remember to leave a link down below, although I really never remember to do that. Inside, if you can see, there's markings for 30 and 60 milliliters, and there's also markings for 1 and 2 ounces of fluid, which is really nice. There are 2 sets of burners, outside burners and inside burners. We'll weigh this real quickly just in case anybody's interested. Stove itself, 35 grams or 1 1/4 ounce. Lastly, we've got the DX stand, okay? Now the way it works is you basically pop the stove in here. It's captive in there or it doesn't fall out. It has a little air pocket here at the bottom. That's if you're using it to burn wood. This right here, you can see it says Evernew titanium. You want that to be right side up. You just pop it right on here and that is your stand, okay? You can put it on here and we're gonna test it just like this. It also has what they call the turbo stand, okay? Which basically you just pop on here, just like that. And it's supposed to help with the heat sink capabilities and allow it to function more efficiently. We're gonna check that out as well. The stand, I'll go ahead and weigh the whole thing with the stove because obviously you're gonna have a stove with it. 91 grams or 3 1/4 ounces. So pretty darn lightweight stove. All right, so we have water at 70 degrees, 69, 70 degrees. We've got 1 ounce of fuel in our Evernew titanium stove, and we've got the cross stand, okay? We're gonna light this up. We're gonna put this, we're using a Keith titanium ultralight pot kit here. Let's start this up. I can tell you guys from my experience, it takes about 30 seconds for this to fully bloom, but I'm gonna go ahead and start it up. Put this on top, move this over a little bit so y'all can see. And let's see how long it takes to get 2 cups of water to a boil. All right, we're coming up on 211, as you guys may know from my prior videos. 211 is when this thermometer actually boils. It's a 1 degree off. All right, 210 and 211, 8 minutes, 41 seconds. I would say that's a pretty good boil time, okay, 8 minutes, 41 seconds. Remembering that I did not allow time for the stove to actually bloom. That included the 30 or 40 seconds it took for it to bloom. So I'm gonna cool this off for y'all to know. Some people will say, well, maybe it's gonna get affected by the fact that it's warmed up. I take this stove, I let it run out. I take it over to my little mini split air conditioner. I put it right underneath the mini split and I let it cool off completely to the point where I can grab it and it is cold. That way we don't have any alteration in the temperature before we start the stove, which could lead to it blooming faster and affecting the timing. All right, so we are back, 70 degrees again. This time we have the DX stove over here, okay? This stove is completely cooled off. It's nice and cool, so there's no preheating to it. We've got the DX stove without the turbo plate. We're gonna try it just like this. We're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna light it, put the stove right on there. It's gonna take its time and however long it takes to preheat and get bloomed, but it's all the same for all three of them, so it should be nice and consistent. All right, it is lit. Make sure we get this nice and even, steady. Turn this on. Adjust our pot a little bit. All right, so let's see how long it takes to get this 2 cups of water to a boil with the DX stand minus the turbo plate. All right, we're getting close here. Pretty impressive time here. Coming up on 6 minutes, let's see. All right, exactly 6 minutes to get 2 cups of water to a boil. That is an impressive 2 minutes and 41 seconds faster than the cross stand. All right, so the last of the testing. We're back, 70-degree water. We've got the turbo plate on. We're gonna light this thing up. It says to light it from the side here. There we go. Kind of a pain. Put this on. Start that. I'm going to center this again. And let's see how long the turbo plate takes. Now the instructions say to use the turbo plate whenever the temperature ambiently is cold. It doesn't necessarily say that it's going to decrease boil time, and I'm not sure that it will, but it is utilized when the temperature is cold. Now in my shop here, I keep my mini split AC on dehumidifier, and it's actually about 65 degrees in here. So ambiently it's a little bit chilly. Not super cold, but a little chilly. So let's see how long it takes. All right, we're coming up on it, 2:07. Remember the last one was 6 minutes, so we're gonna beat it. And 5 minutes, 39 seconds. So we did have an improvement of 19 seconds by using the turbo plate. There's a good look at the turbo plate there. I'm gonna put this stuff away and let's talk about what we found out. Like I said, the stove costs $35 if you buy the whole set stove plus the DX stand. It's about $65 to $70 depending on what price you find. The cross stand, like I said, is $12 and it will work with any of the other similar type stoves like the Transient, for example. That little cross stand is supposed to create the perfect distance between the bottom of the pot and the top of the stove. Obviously it does work fairly well, but it works even better when you put it inside of the DX stand. Quick review of the numbers. The cross stand itself boiled water in 8 minutes 41 seconds. DX stand without the turbo plate was faster. It was 6 minutes, and if you added the turbo plate, it dropped that down to 5 minutes 39 seconds. 2 cups of water to a boil in 5 minutes 39 seconds. That is a pretty fast boil time. So looking at pros and cons, the pros are obvious. Very, very lightweight stand, very compact, folds down very small. Extremely good performance, as you could see. It really creates a nice blue flame that is highly efficient. The cons, of course, first and foremost, is the cost. You're looking at $65, $70 for the whole kit. Now, if you really want to go ultra light, this is obviously something you can spend the money on. I don't think it's ridiculously priced, but I do think that it could be lower. If you look at the construction of the stand itself, it's all right, but it could be better. It could give you a little more confidence that it's not going to fall apart over time, but all in all, it's pretty well put together. Along those same lines, it's not the sturdiest feeling construction. I mean, it's certainly sturdy enough to hold water in a pot, but I wouldn't put anything too heavy on it. Not really convinced that it could handle it. It's also not a complete windscreen. It's got a lot of openings. It's adequate for most situations, but it's not a complete windscreen, and if it's really windy, I think that your alcohol stove will suffer like all alcohol stoves do in windy conditions. But it's hard to argue with the performance. So does the Evernew DX stand work? Yeah, I mean, obviously it works. It took the same stove and made it boil water much faster, in particular much faster than just the regular cross stand, which is the most common stand. But even the turbo plate did improve performance. Now, is it performance that I think is really important or measurable? I don't think so. We're looking at 19 seconds. Now, the difference between not having the DX stand and having the DX stand is pretty substantial at over 2 minutes. And I think that does make a difference. And if you're into efficiency and lightweight backpacking, it's definitely worth the money. In the end, deciding whether things like this are worth the money simply comes down to whether or not you want to spend the money. I can answer this question for you if you're interested in this stand. It works, and that's the most important thing. I'm not sure if everybody knows, but I have an entire playlist about stoves, reviewing them, testing them, all those things. I don't even know how many I'm up to, probably over 50 videos. I'll leave a link down below to that playlist. Make sure you check it out. If you like the video, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up down below. It really helps spread things across YouTube. And if you want to make sure you don't miss any videos in the future, hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. If you're feeling crazy and you want to make sure you never miss a video that we put out, hit the little ding dong bell and you'll be the first to know. As always, guys, I really appreciate you checking out the channel. Really enjoying doing these stove videos. Got a lot of new stuff coming out, stove related. Pretty excited about that. I hope everybody enjoys these videos. I certainly like putting them together. Having kind of intermittent storms here in Louisiana today, so can't really get outside much. Decided to come in and shoot a few videos. Hope everyone's doing well out there wherever you are, and stay tuned for more videos here on Paleo Hiker MD.